All right, before we get started with today's video, this video has been highly requested and I'm here to deliver. There's been several gentlemen out there who have reached out to me saying, D, I go to church often. I'm involved in my church, got a lot of, things that I do, involving the youth and things like that involved, in a church setting. So, fragrances that, I would wear to church. All right. So, there's many different forms of religion. I'm not here to get into that, but definitely, when you're walking into your place of worship, I'm sure you want to look your best, smell your best, right? I think so. I mean, I know I do. All right. So, definitely want to give a huge shout out to my guy, Perez Thomas. Perez, I got you. Here we are. There's other gentlemen in the community who have reached out to me over time, and you guys want to see it? Here it is. These are the 5 fragrances that I believe you should have, or you should look into, or that I recommend for when you're going to church. All right, so this is part 2 of that series. Let's go ahead and tap in. Interesting list, especially one of these. Interesting. Let's get to it. YouTube, what's going on YouTube? What is going on? What is happening, man? Of course, it's your guy one more time, DEDRICKHICKSJR, and now I'm back with another fragrance video. Smell good family. Hopefully everyone is doing well, doing great, doing fantastic. And as always, man, it's positive energy, it's positive vibes, and most importantly, it is positive vibes only. All right, so I started this series probably about a couple of weeks ago. All right, so part 1 is out, and it's 5 fragrances. Well, the first title was 5 fragrances that you should have when making a first impression. All right, so this is part 2, 5 fragrances that you should have when going to church. All right, so interesting topic, but if I get asked and there's interest there, I don't really care about like the algorithm and what picks up on this and that. If it's something that the people want to see, I'm here to deliver on that. So Perez, this is for you, my guy. Up first for me, going to church all my life. Went to church all my life as a youngin'. And, in the South and in my community, we put it on. Going to church. We put it on, going to church, and, smelling good is definitely a part of that. And I remember back in the day, man, I was wearing Tommy Hilfiger and Michael Jordan cologne and Nautica Blue. Those are my fragrances that I wore to church when I was going to church a lot, in my youth. All right. So here we are today, more grown up list for sure. And let's get it started. All right, so up first, the first fragrance I'm recommending, if you're looking for a fragrance, to go to church, here we are from the house of Dolce & Gabbana. This is slept on. It's not appreciated as it once was, or I don't know if it ever was appreciated, because it's the flanker gets all the love and it's good. But man, I think I prefer this a little bit more. From the house of Dolce Gabbana, D&G, we have the one, the EDT, man, the EDT. This has turned into like a cozy boy fragrance for me, and we'll touch on that later. But that tobacco and orange and that freshness overload in the opening, this stuff is a classic. Definitely more on the more masculine side, the more gentleman side, even more on the OG side. This stuff is fantastic. Now, admittedly, not the greatest performer, but how long are you in church? Are you in church a nice 1 to 2 hours? Are you in there for 3 to 4 hours? Or is a revival going on? I don't know. And you're there longer than that. But this is definitely something. If your church service is 2 hours, 2.5 to 3 hours, this is absolutely perfect. It's not a loud, roaring scent. It definitely carries class, maturity. And if you're dressing up and, presenting yourself in the best way possible, going to church, then this is a fragrance that can definitely complement that. Don't sleep on this, man. I'm not saying this smells old. I'm not saying this is dated. I'm not saying that because I don't believe that it is. But I do think there's a sense of maturity here that's excellent, and it could definitely work when going to church. So this stuff is slept on. I need to, I haven't worn it. I worn it last fall for sure, but I'm going to be wearing it more because I don't know. Just for me, I don't know if it's kind of like throwback or nostalgic. I don't know, but this stuff is fire, man, and I like it a little bit more than the EDP. EDP is great. I have it. It's great, but I lean on this one. Definitely wearing this to church. From the house of Dolce & Gabbana, we have the one, the EDT. The EDT. This stuff is fire, man. It's fire. All right, up next, this is a bit of probably a little bit more of a daring profile, but definitely more modern take. There's tobacco being talked about in this video, and this one has tobacco as well, but it's blended with some ginger and some mandarin and some musk. It is sensational. From the house of Bon Parfumeur, we have number 4, 004. Man, this stuff is awesome. Oh my God, it's fresh. It kind of has this kind of like, I ain't gonna say aquatic, but kind of like, I guess so, maybe slightly like aquatic feel to it. That's the best way that I can explain it. But the spices in here, there's some nutmeg, there's some gin, there's some citrus, spicy, sweet, woody, and kind of almost this aquatic nature in the opening of this. It's very interesting. But this definitely smells like, a fragrance that, if you play a prominent role in your church and, you're greeting a lot of people and, you're helping out a lot of people as the church services is going during, before and after church, this is something to look into, man. It definitely has some character to it for sure. And it's really underrated for sure. And I think just with the touch of class that this has, if you're wearing a suit, if you're wearing a vest, if you're just wearing a button up and some slacks, this is something that is very fitting for attending the church service, man. So this is really, really good. It's a lot going on here, but when it starts to dry down, really the spices really take over with that tobacco. There's a little bit of a dry feel to it, so a mature factor to this, but this stuff is awesome. And it's a go really, really good attending the church service. So from the house of Bon Parfumeur, we have number 4, 004 is what I call it. This stuff is really good. Nice quality from Bon Parfumeur as well. Up next, man, if you just, I'll drop the bottom. Up next, if you're trying to go clean and classy to attend the church service, here you are. It might not get no better than this. From the house of Amouage, we have the great Reflection Man. Reflection Man. Clean. White florals, woods, some spices. Just beautiful, musky feel to it as well. Fresh, just absolutely stunning. Absolutely flawless. Absolutely perfect. Out of all these fragrances that we're talking about today, this might be the perfect fragrance for attending the church service. You just can't go wrong with it, especially if you are, like I said, presenting yourself, putting your best foot forward, however you deem that to be. You're groomed well, you got a nice suit, you got a nice, button-up slacks, you're attending the church service, and you want to look your best while you're going to receive a message. This is definitely something that will absolutely work in any type of situation when you're talking about church, man. So attending the service, this is it. Out of all of these, if I had to pick one, I would pick this one. This stuff is phenomenal. It is awesome. And it's going to do numbers. And if you're looking for a compliment or two while in church, you could get it for sure. From the house of Amouage, we have Reflection Man. If I can get that in focus. Reflection Man, there we go. From the house of Amouage, great stuff. Up next, from the house of Thameen, we have the beautiful Royal Sapphire. Royal Sapphire from the house of Thameen. Man, this is like the niche take on a YSL myself profile. You get the orange blossom, you get the citrus, you get the woods, but there's this ambergris note in here that's blended very, very well. It doesn't come off fishy, eggy, or anything like that. There's classiness to it. I'm not gonna say it's a simple profile, but it's a simple enough profile. And if you're looking for, let's just say, man, you got a new suit, you got a new pair of shoes, you want to debut that suit and a new pair of shoes at church. You're heading to your church, going to the church service, and you want them to know, hey man, I'm stepping in prepared to attend this church service. This is a fragrance that will complement that. Something brand new, something fresh. Out of all the profiles today, this is probably, no, this one in 04. This in 04 are the ones that kind of really have a lot of different things going on. So compliment factor is high here. I received plenty of compliments, and I can attest to dressing up for work, dressing up for church, and kind of on the same vibe. But some of my guys out there, they're triple breast suits, 3-piece suits. They're not playing around, especially my OGs out there for sure. Especially growing up where I grew up, where I was, that's how church was. All the OGs was wearing the nice shoes, the three-tier suits, triple-breasted suits, 3-piece, all that, man. They not playing around, looking great, coming in for church, man. It's just kind of staple down here where I'm from, especially in the South, and I'm sure where you are as well. But this is the fragrance. You're looking for compliments. You're looking for possibly a conversation after church. Hey, bro, what you wearing today? This is the one to look into. From the house of Thameen, we have Royal Sapphire. This stuff is awesome. Like I said, this is a niche take, in my opinion, on that Why Sell Myself DNA. I don't know what was first. Was it this or Why Sell Myself? I'm not sure. But this one has a little bit more going on, and I love that why sell myself DNA. I think it's really, really good. But this one is awesome. All right, and last but not least, this definitely has some OG cool vibes, man. Let's just say you're a member of your church and you're just that guy. All the kids chop it up with you. Your unk, pretty much. Your unk around the church. Everybody see you, shake your hand. You just kind of involved. You're just kind of one of those guys. And this is a staple right here, a staple fragrance in my collection. I've worn this to church, actually, and this is something that's just really good. It's really good. From the house of Guerlain, we have L'Homme Ideal, the EDT. L'Homme Ideal, the EDT. That beautiful DNA, that almond, the citrus, the leather, the cherry. It's outstanding. It's smooth, man. It's smooth. It's inviting. It's something where conversations could definitely be a part. But while you're at church and you're fellowshipping and you're enjoying the service, this is one, man, that it makes you feel good. At least for me, it just kind of adds a little bit more energy to my step, especially coming in dressed, being social, having conversations, just throughout the church services. This is just one of those ones. If Unc is in the building, he clean, he's smooth, and everybody loves him. Everybody loves him. I'm sure you guys have that one guy at your church that everybody just shows love to. I know I did, and this is a fragrance that I feel that he probably was wearing without me knowing it. From the house of Guerlain, great fragrance, especially for that church service. From the house of Guerlain, we have L'Homme Ideal, the EDT. I've worn this a lot and will continue to. This is very slept on. The bottle style is different. It doesn't look like this anymore, but it is absolutely awesome. All right, so there you have it, man. You're getting up on a Sunday morning, or you're going to Bible study during the week, you're going to a church service. Those are 5 fragrances to really tap into that can really complete the vibe. Especially if you got the style, especially if you got a different type of style or something going on where you want to aesthetically, walk into church looking your best, feeling your best. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think that should be applied to every occasion. So let me know down below in the comments, what are your favorite fragrances that you love to wear to church? And drop them down below in the comments. So like I said, this video I've been asked to do this video several times, especially by my guy Perez, and here we are. 5 fragrances that you should have when going to church. All right, so we'll keep the series going. Y'all let me know what y'all want to see. I'm always open to suggestions. I always look at my comments. I'm looking at things that y'all want to see. Let me know, and let's get it going. Let's get the conversation started. All right, so appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for watching. Thank you for the support. Until next time, be cool, be safe, take care of yourselves. As always, it's positive energy. It's positive vibes. Most importantly, it is positive vibes only. Oh, the boys are ready to get after it. So I gotta go. Splack it up, splack it down, splack that thing all around. And remember, what you put out to this world, that's exactly what you are going to get back. All right, peace, y'all. Till next time, be safe out there. Splacker. Let's go do daddy things.